Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I'm going to bring you some tips and tricks on how to survive finals week. So, there are two phases, your preparation and then when you are in the pits of finals week. So, for prep, number one, you're going to need to write off a day for preparation. This day will include a big food shop, pre-cooking all your food, and breaking down the steps you're going to take to revise, study, and complete your finals. My preparation days are usually on a Sunday, so I would start my day quite early because I have church in the morning, so straight after church, I'd get straight into it. Starting off with your food shop. You're going to want to buy enough food to last you about a week and a half when you finish your pre cooking, as well as buying those snacks or treats, anything that you need to tide you over during this period. For example, for me, my snacks would be a crisp. Any drinks I'd buy would be lemonade, malt, and then if I'm planning on doing an all nighter, I would get an energy drink. My go to is the Iron Brew Energy. I would also make sure I'd have enough noodles, as that's just a quick meal that gets you in and out of the kitchen fast. So, once you've done your shopping, you actually want to go straight into the kitchen and get on that pre cooking. That way, you're not leaving too many breaks and you're getting a lot of things done in order for your preparation day. Number two, reset your room. This is basically your reset day. So with your food shop and everything, you've already began this, but now you need to go and reset your room. I'm talking about clean sheets, laundry done, bathroom cleaned, desk cleaned up, absolutely everything neat and tidy, so that when you're coming into your room to study, you don't have to do anything to study comfortably. You literally just go straight to your desk and you're ready. Now, importantly, you're going to want to break down your big tasks into smaller chunks. So, because I'm doing computer science, this is more so tailored around what I do, but the same thing will apply whether you're very much a essay based subject or anything like that. You just have to tailor it to how it will work for you. So, for coursework, you're generally given an overview of a task that you need to do. So, for example, one of my classes was make a Sudoku game. So that's quite a big project. What I would do is now break it into manageable chunks and step by step in order of what they need to go into. So my first thing to do would be initialize a board, and then I would move on to other steps so that you're slowly building up towards your final project instead of just jumping straight in and trying to figure out which order it's meant to go in. For a maths module, I would start off with topics that I find particularly difficult. Start with those first so I have more time to focus on them before going on to topics that are a breeze, so that it's more just a reflection and a reminder of how I complete these equations and problems. Same thing with writing a report, you have to have a plan to begin that. So, what I would do is generally think of things that I want to include in my report. Then, if I had to find sources for them, I would put together my sources, then start with my introduction. Now that prep is out the way, let's get into the actual studying and survival of finals week. Firstly, I just want to say do not be afraid of an all nighter. This is something that I found was quite interesting, as during my first year, it never crossed my mind to do an all nighter. Even at times where I knew I would benefit from staying up late, I would be straight in bed. For some reason, I was just against an all nighter. Whereas in my second year, I figured out an all nighter actually works really well for me. There's less distractions, it's more so just you and your tasks. Anytime I would need to take a break, there wasn't that risk of someone being in the kitchen. Even if there are odd hours when it comes to uni and college, there may be little events, but majority of the time, people are out around 10 to 3 a.m. And around that time, they're not going to go straight into the kitchen to stay longer. At that 3 a.m. of closing of clubs, they're straight into their beds. So, going into the kitchen for a drink, a snack, quick meal, there's no chance of that turning into a 2 hours catch up with your flatmates. So, an all nighter is what works for me. But again, though, that's just my personal experience. It's up to you to find out what works for you. If you know that an all nighter will completely tire you out for the next day and make your next day completely useless, don't go for that. You want to utilize as many days and as many hours as possible. Now, on to how you study. Here is what I suggest you do. Utilize the Pomodoro method. I, for one, prefer the 45 minutes on and 5 minutes off, as I know within that 45 minutes, I make enough progress to be happy with it, and then I don't need that much of a break. Even times I would work over my break just because I'm that into the work and I've gotten into the flow. I wouldn't suggest a time any less than 30 minutes for finals week or any projects, as any less time wouldn't actually let you get into the project before you've even fully focused on it. You're already on your break. So I suggest around 30 minutes and above. You can play around with your breaks and figure out what works for you, but I wouldn't mess around too much with, say, 30 minutes on, 30 minutes off. If you're doing around 30 to 45 minutes on, look for 5 minutes to 15 minutes off. And while on your breaks, do not leave your study space. Think of little short tasks such as standing up, stretching, cleaning up your desk a little, anything that gets you away from looking and focusing on your work while not taking you too much out of that study mode. Now, the debate for all ages, music or no music. I, for one, constantly am wearing my headphones, so I am a music listener. But I have played around a little with the type of music I listen to while I'm studying. So during high school to first year, I was more on classical music and lo-fi, and now second year to my third year right now, it's lo-fi and a repeat playlist. So my repeat playlist is full of some pop music, but this is music that I know I won't dance to. It's music that I've had on repeat for a long time, so the words sort of just blur into the background. But whatever music I'm listening to is more so just to tune out, say, flatmates, noisy environment, and in general, just to hone in my focus on what I'm doing. I know people do recommend Minecraft music or any game music, as that music is tailored to make you focus in a long time on your game. But it is up to you, whether you're a music listener or a non listener. Figure out what will keep your focus intact. Onto your study environment. Of course, it's all about preference. But for me, I prefer studying in my room as everything is close by. So I have the kitchen close by when I'm in my flat, any water, bathrooms, food, everything is right where it needs to be. So I don't need to go too out of my way to get anything. I feel when I have tried to study at libraries, I often find that it's not exactly the same environment. You also have to pack a lot and it takes time to get to your locations. So that's also time that I could have been already revising and focusing on. But again, it is up to you. Some people need a change of scenery to focus, or they don't have a desk in their room, or their flat is just incredibly noisy and they can't focus. Lastly, and incredibly important if you are working in your room, is have a clear distinction between study mode and relaxing. This starts with your clothing. For one, when you're getting out of bed, don't go straight to your desk still in your pajamas. Even if it means that you're just pulling on a hoodie or joggers over your pajamas, at least let there be a clear distinction of relaxation clothes and focus clothes. You still want to be comfortable, so I'm not suggesting that you pull on jeans or do a full outfit. If that's what helps you, go ahead, but also take into account whether you're going to be comfortable sitting up in those clothes for a long period of time. And if you do end up going to your bed for a break, do not get under the covers. That is where you lose the battle and lose several hours to either scrolling or falling asleep. Have that clear distinction of when you want a break or if you actually need to have a longer break, whether you're going to do it in your room or use that opportunity to go outside, go for a walk, go into the kitchen for a conversation or anything, but remember that you're still in that study mode. Well, that's all from me on this topic. Hope to catch you next time, and as always, rock on.